In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make these cute crocheted dish scrubbies. And these dish scrubbies are in the shape of a star. And I thought since Memorial Day was on Monday, I thought this would be just cute to do it with the patriotic red, white, and blue colors. And of course you can make this in any color that you like. So today I'm going to be using the Premier Washi Scrubby yarn to make these star-shaped scrubbies. So we're going to need a blue, this is a royal blue. We're going to need red washi yarn and white washi yarn. And this is the combination two-toned washi yarn. It's blue and white, which I did for this one here. So I thought these were just adorable, and we're going to use a size 5mm crochet hook, and that is equivalent to the H or 8, and it's also a 5mm crochet hook. So I'm going to be using my bamboo crochet hook today, and I think that since I already made these in different, I used all of the same colors pretty much, but I just did them in different variations. I really like how this came out with the two-toned white and blue yarn. It really looks cute. They all look very pretty. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make one similar to this. We're going to start off with the blue and white two-toned washi yarn to do the center. And then I think I'm going to do, I did red here, so we'll use blue to do the round after the center. And then I'm going to use red this time to do the points of the star. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how to make these star-shaped scrubbies today. So I'm going to go ahead and move the yarn out of the way. Okay, so to begin the star-shaped scrubby, I'm going to start off with the washi yarn that has the blue and the white for the center, just like this one. Okay, so we're going to start off with a magic ring or a magic circle. Okay, and we're going to work 6 single crochets into the center of our magic ring. We're not going to count this first loop that's on there from the magic circle, so go ahead and start with 6 single crochets. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put a stitch marker in here because it's a little hard to see these stitches, and when we join with that first, we're going to join with the slip stitch to the first one, and when we tighten up the magic circle, it might be a little hard to see that first stitch. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the magic ring, close it up. Okay, now I'm going to join with a slip stitch to that first stitch. I'm going to take my stitch marker out now and insert my hook into that first stitch. So you should see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, perfect. So now let's join with a slip stitch to that first one. Okay, so there's round 1 complete. So now for the second round, we are going to do 2 single crochets into every single stitch. So when we're done with this round, we'll have 12 single crochets. So let's go ahead and do a single crochet to that stitch. And I'm going to put my stitch marker in right away because with this scrubby yarn, it is really hard to see your stitches. So I recommend that you definitely want to use a stitch marker so you won't lose track of where the beginning started. So that was the first single crochet, so we're going to do the second one into that stitch. So that's 2 stitches. 2 stitches into the next one. 2 stitches into the next. We're going to do 2 stitches in every single stitch for this round until we get to the stitch marker. Okay, so that's round 2, and just to make sure, I'm going to count my stitches. They are a little hard to see, but you can see them if you look really hard. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet that we did. That's right here. Okay, so that's round 2. Now for round 3, go ahead and chain 1 and do a single crochet right back into that stitch. And then let's go ahead and put our stitch marker back in. Alright, so in the we just did 1 single crochet in that stitch. In the next stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochets. Next stitch, 1 single crochet. 2 single crochets into the next stitch. 1 single crochet into the next one. So we're going to be alternating. We're going to do 1 stitch and then 2 and alternate all the way around until we finish and get back to the stitch marker. When we're done with this round, we'll have 18 stitches in total. So that was 1 single crochet into that stitch, so we need 2 into the next one. 1 single crochet into the next. And then the next one will have 2. Next one will have 1. And then 2 single crochets into the next one. And then 1 single crochet into the next. And then 2 into the next one. So we should have 18 single crochets when we're done with this round. And I'm going to go ahead and count my stitches just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Alright, perfect. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my stitch marker out. And we're going to join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet when we begin the round. Okay, so for the next round, we're going to use the same color still. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet right back into that same stitch, and then do a single crochet into the next one. Let's go ahead and put our stitch marker back in now. That first stitch that we did. So for this round, the first 2 we did 1 single crochet each, so the next stitch we'll have 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Alright, then we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. It's 1, 1. Next stitch will have 2 single crochets in it, and then the next 2 stitches will have 1 single crochet each. Okay, next stitch we'll have 2 single crochets, and then 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. Okay, then we're going to do 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Oops. 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1 single crochet each. Next stitch we'll have 2. Next 2 stitches we'll have just 1 single crochet in each. Next stitch we'll have 2 single crochets. And then we should have 24 single crochets all together. I'm going to go ahead and count my stitches. Alright, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. 24 stitches. So we are actually done with the center part of our star, just like this one, where we used 2 tones. Now we're going to do the next round in a solid color. Since I did this one with red, I'm going to use blue this time. So I'm going to go ahead and take my stitch marker out. And then I'm going to cut this now because we're going to be starting with a new color. Alright. So we're going to join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet and just pull that all the way through to fasten off there. Give it a little tug, tighten it down. Okay, so we're going to begin in that stitch there with the blue. And this one's called, the color is Royal Blue. Okay, so let's see. We find the beginning strand here. There it is. Okay, so we can go ahead and just loop the yarn around like that, which is normally how you would do it, changing colors. But because it's a scrubby and it's going to get a lot of use, I'm just going to start off with a little slip knot. Okay. Okay, tie it down. There we go. Now, I'm going to pull that through. And then we're going to chain one. And we're going to do, I'm going to work those two tails into it so I don't have to weave them in later. So we're going to do a single crochet into that first stitch. And then the next two stitches will have one single crochet each with the royal blue. So the first three stitches only had one single crochet each. I'm going to put my stitch marker back in right there. And then the next stitch will have, I'm working those tails in along with it too. Makes it much easier than having to, you know, weave it in afterwards. So now this stitch is going to have two single crochets. And then the next three stitches will just have one single crochet each. That's one stitch, and one single crochet. Alright, next stitch will have two single crochets. Okay, now the next three stitches will have one single crochet each. One single crochet. Alright, the next stitch will have two single crochets. And then the next three stitches will have one single crochet each. One. Alright, next stitch will have two single crochets. And you probably already guessed, the next three stitches will have one single crochet in each stitch. It's one. Next stitch, I bet you can guess, will have two single crochets in it. So there's definitely a pattern here. We start off with one single crochet into the first three, then two single crochets, then one single crochet in the next three, two single crochets, and we do that all the way around. Okay, so that was two single crochets. So the next three stitches will have one single crochet each. And then the next stitch will have two single crochets. When we're done with this round, we should have 30 single crochets in total. So we are finished with this round with the royal blue, so we are ready to fasten off. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a little tail here. And that way we can go ahead and fasten off. I'm going to take my stitch marker out. And I'm going to go ahead and join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet. Then go ahead and pull that, tighten it. Alright, so we are ready to begin the points of our star. And this one I did with blue, so I am going to do this with red. So I'm going to go ahead and start here. The red washi yarn. And this washi yarn is also 100% polyester. It's like, you know, similar to the Red Heart Scrubby yarn. It's also 100% polyester as well. So, but the texture is a slightly different between this and the Red Heart. Alright, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make a little slip knot with the red washi yarn here. Alright, so we're ready to begin the round where we will do the points of our star. So I'm going to go ahead and join here with insert my hook, into the stitch there. And I'm going to pull up a loop, and I'm just going to pull that right through that stitch to join. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet into the next 5 stitches, just 1 single crochet each in the next 5. So working right back into that same stitch. It's a single crochet, it's 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was 1 single crochet in the first 5 stitches here. So now we want to make sure that you don't work the stitches too tight when we do the points, or else it won't lay flat and nice like that. So now you're going to churn your work, and we're going to skip that very first single crochet and work into the next one. So we have 5 single crochets, so we're skipping the first. We're only going to work 4 of the red single crochets here. That's 1 single crochet. The next one will have 1 single crochet. Third stitch, 1 single crochet, and the fourth stitch, 1 single crochet. Okay, now we're going to turn our work again. We're still working on the point, the first point. So once again, we're going to skip this first single crochet and do 1 single crochet into the 3 stitches here. So there are 4 single crochets right now, but we're going to skip this one, so we're only working the 3 stitches. Skip this one, do a single crochet into the next, single crochet, and the next one will have a single crochet. Then we're going to turn our work again. We have 3 single crochets right now, because basically we keep decreasing. We started off with 5, next one had 4, then 3, this will have 2. So we're going to skip the first one and work these 2 stitches only. Skip in the first one, work into the next one and do a single crochet, and then a single crochet into the next one. And you want to work your stitches pretty loose, you don't want to make them too tight, and then turn your work. And you see you have 2 single crochets here, so we're going to skip that first one and work into that last one. So we're only doing 1 single crochet in this round. So that is the point, the first point of the star. So we need to get back down to here to do the next point. So we're going to do slip stitches all down here. So there's technically 5 rows here. So we're going to do slip stitches down these 4 rows. So there'll be 4 slip stitches, because you don't do this first one here. So go ahead and find a spot here to do a slip stitch. Go ahead and insert your hook. Do a slip stitch. Next one, a slip stitch. That's the second slip stitch. And then do the third slip stitch. Oops, it doesn't want to find a little spot there. Let me find one here. There we go. Third slip stitch. And then this one, put a slip stitch. Okay, so we've worked down the side of the point of the star. So this next stitch right here, that's blue, next to that point, that very next stitch, do a slip stitch right into there. Okay, next one, we're actually going to start working the single crochets again. So the next 5 stitches will have just 1 single crochet each for our second point. So do a single crochet into the next one. 1. Next stitch will have 1 single crochet. 2. Next one, 1 single crochet. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have our 5 single crochets to start our second start point. And make sure you shape it. And sometimes it's because it has such like a little fringe. It sticks out a little bit. Okay, so we want to turn our work. And we're going to skip that first single crochet again and work just 4 stitches here. That's 1. So we're working 1 single crochet in these 4 stitches. Okay. I'm going to turn our work, and we're going to skip, there's 4 single crochets right now. So we're going to skip that first one, so we're just going to work the 3 single crochets, doing 1 single crochet in each one. So skip this first one, and then single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet. Alright, there we go. So now we're going to turn our work. And we have 3 single crochets at this point. We're going to skip the first one and work these 2 only. 1 single crochet into those 2. So skip the first one. Do 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. Okay, turn our work. And we have 2 single crochets at this point. Skipping the first one, just working this last one. And there is the second point of our star. So now we need to work our way back down to get back to the blue section. So we're going to do the slip stitches. So we need to find 4 points here at the end of each row and do a slip stitch. So we're going to have 4 slip stitches to work our way down. There we go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now that we worked our way back down towards the blue section here, we're going to do a slip stitch into this very next space that's next to it. See this blue one right there? A slip stitch right into that. And now we're going to work 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches to begin our third point of our star. So 1 single crochet in the next 5. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. 5. Okay, so we have our 5 single crochets. So now we want to turn our work. And we're going to skip that very first single crochet here and just work the 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, turn our work again. Okay, so we've turned our work. We're going to skip that very first one. So there's 4 single crochets right now. We're going to skip that first one, so we're going to just work the 3 single crochets for this row. 1, 1, 1 single crochet. Alright, so now we're going to turn our work again. We have 3 single crochets right now. We're skipping the first one and just working these 2. Just 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2. Okay, we're going to turn our work again. We're going to skip this first one and just work that last single crochet there. And there's our third point of our star. So now we need to work back down again. We're going to do our slip stitches. We need to do 4 slip stitches to work our way back down to the blue section. So let's go ahead and find a spot to do your 4 slip stitches. That's 1. Second slip stitch. Third one. Fourth one. And you want to make sure when you do these slip stitches that you don't pull it super tight, or else you'll lose the shape of your star. It will get too tight and it will curl in on you. And you want it to lay nice and flat. You don't want it to curl. It will curl like this if you do them too tight. So you want to be careful to make sure that you work them loosely. Okay, so now this next one, this blue stitch right here, do a slip stitch right into that one. Okay, so that's why they call it a slip stitch. Okay, do a slip stitch right into that first one. There you go. Now, the next 5 stitches will have 1 single crochet each. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now we're going to turn our work. Skip this first one and work the 4 stitches. Just 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. 3. So we have 1 more. Total of 4. Alright, now we're going to turn our work again. And we have 4 single crochets, but we're going to skip the first one and just work the 3. So we're going to do 3 single crochets. One single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Alright, so we're going to turn it again. Skip this first one. And we're just going to work the 2 stitches with 1 single crochet each. Okay, we're going to turn our work again. We have 2 single crochets at this point. We're skipping the first one. And then we're going to do a single crochet into this one. And that completes the 4th point of our star. So we're going to work our way back down to the blue section again with slip stitches. And once again, you want to be real careful not to work your slip stitches really tight, because if you do, your work's going to curl in like that. And you want them to lay flat at these points, so you want to make sure you're doing kind of loose. So let's go ahead and find our 4 slip stitches. There's 1. That's the first one. The second one. That's the 3rd slip stitch. And the 4th one. Alright, so in the very next stitch here, we're going to do a slip stitch. Alright, so now we're ready to work our final point of the star, because we want 5 points for this one. Alright, so the next 5 stitches will have 1 single crochet each. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we're ready to turn our work. We're going to skip the first one and just work these 4 stitches with 1 single crochet each. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, let's turn our work again. Skip that first one and work these 3 stitches with 1 single crochet into each one. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so we're going to turn our work again. Skipping the first one, 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. Turn our work again. Skip the first one and just work this 1 stitch with a single crochet. Alright, so we're going to work our way back down to that blue section again with slip stitches. And we need 4 of them. So that's the first slip stitch. Number 2. Okay, that's the second slip stitch. 3rd slip stitch. And the 4th one. Okay, and then we're going to slip stitch into that next stitch in the blue section there. And now we're ready to cut the tail so we can fasten off. Okay, so now we're going to just go ahead and pull that through, all the way through, give it a tug to fasten off. And now we're going to take our little crochet needle to weave in the ends. I'm just going to weave that in. And this washi yarn wants to get stuck when you try to weave it in. There we go. Alright, so now I'm going to cut that tail there. I have a few more tails to weave in. There's that magic ring. We can pull that just to close up that center circle nice and tight. Alright, go ahead and weave in A couple of spots here. Alright, I'm going to cut that tail right there. And it looks like I have the tail left over from the blue. And since I crocheted that along, I'm just going to cut that. And now we just have that one red tail there. See, that's a little extra piece that's really long. I'm going to give it a little haircut here. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to weave this one in. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and cut my tail right there. Okay, we have finished our star-shaped dish scrubby. I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial today. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I hope that you will subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.